the dream come true for you?
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? Manchester United 1, Luton Town 0. United win, baby, win. That's the motto. Win ugly, win whatever. Wasn't perfect. Could have used a bunch more goals, but, you know, considering how this season has gone to date, obviously this is a very bad team in Luton Town. But we'll take it. 3 points, clean sheet, created some good opportunities. Garnacho should have gotten a goal. Højlund probably should have gotten a goal. And Rashford definitely should have gotten a goal. Who comes up with it? The ice-cold Swede, Lindelof, scrappy kind of goal, the kind of goal that this game expected with all the clear-cut chances we missed. But either way, United head into the international break with a little bit of momentum. Crazy, bro. You want to hear the craziest thing? We are currently the most informed team in the Premier League. I couldn't believe it. 4 wins, 1 loss in the last 5 games. And somehow we're picking up some form. It doesn't look like it, but it's coming together.
I mean, not to try to take it down a peg or two, but what teams have we played in that stretch?
Shitty
and what
teams.
teams are coming down the line?
Better
so
teams.
we always need to be careful of how much we're bragging about being informed. But informed we are. Huge win, critical 3 points for the Red Devils. Needed that one at home. We're going into international break. This is what it's been. It's been up and down, inconsistent FC, tough on the eyes. Look, I actually felt today was a good match. I wasn't exciting, but we did score, didn't concede, didn't panic. Onana had to come up with a few saves. He's been more solid, which I think is a good theme for Manchester United. Still the 11, probably not our best 11. And then overall, like scoring, the attack, it's toothless. And we're struggling. So, you know, when it comes to Luton, we can get a nervy win. When it comes to Copenhagen, the Titans of Europe, we're not up for it. So at the end of the day, you got to be measuring us against where we need to be in the top 4. And we're going to be playing Chelsea, and we're going to be playing Liverpool, and we're going to know. And I feel like we're sleepwalking into a buzzsaw when it comes to the bigger sides. But we got to enjoy this one and got to hope we can get some healthy players back after this international break.
No, I mean, all good points. I'm not worried about Chelsea. Liverpool is a different story. But, you know, it was...
Famous last words.
Now Chelsea are going to batter us. Usually this season's been 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Today was 2 steps forward, 1 step back because all the things you said, we created some good chances, but once again, toothless in the front. The fact that our defenders have scored more goals than our attackers in the EPL this season doesn't usually work for most teams. And at the same time, 2 injuries. Now, we don't know the deal with them, but Eriksen went down in the first half. Højlund went down in the second half. And neither of those people can we really lose, but especially Højlund. Even though he hasn't scored yet in the EPL, he will score. And losing him would be catastrophic. So one to keep an eye on. International break. Hopefully by the time we come back from break, Luke Shaw is a little bit closer to joining up the squad. We could really use him back. AWB was out today with illness. But I agree. It's like we got to score, but today was better. It was in more control. Obviously, it's a shit team, but either way, we've lost to shit teams this season, so I'll take it.
No, but like, let's be honest about this season so far and kind of where we're at. It's like, let's take it from the 10,000 foot level. You know, what the biggest transfer we needed to make was getting the Glazers out of the club. Look, they didn't go. They're not going to go, at least the update we have so far. Ratcliffe's doing the minority deal. He's coming in. This season, when we look back at the history of Manchester United, and, you know, Alex and I do enjoy reading about the history, this great history of this club that spans over 100 years, we're going to be looking at this season, not about how amazing we were, not complaining about VAR. We're going to remember that Jim Ratcliffe came in and cleared house and hired what we hope to be will be the next, the new dawn of Manchester United with a proper front office, a proper CEO with a CV, director of football with a CV, and then sort out the mess that we're in. The $1.4 billion spent by the Glazers and completely wasted. It's about the reset, the great reset at Manchester United, and we hope Ratcliffe is that. Obviously, Ratcliffe can come in, hire these guys, and they do a horrible job, and we're back to square one in another decade, which
probably will happen.
Can happen. But let's focus on kind of where we are. And so a 1-0 win against the Hatters at home might not be the most exciting thing, but Alex and I were sitting on the couch. My son was celebrating the goal. We got 3 points. Enjoy the day, and let's hope that Richard Arnold's gone. Murtaugh's gone. Fletcher's gone. All these guys who don't have the experience to be at the club are gone. Let's hope Ratcliffe brings sanity to us. Let's hope it's announced this international break. I kind of have that feeling it'd be a good time to announce it. Rumors are it is done. And that's what I'm really focused on as a United fan. This season, look, we're going to Europa League. Let's have a go. I've already reset the expectations pretty hard.
Is it on the
let's
soundboard?
just try to...
We got to put on the soundboard.
Everyone's going to be yelling about the manager, but let's focus on the front office. Let's focus on the ownership. Let's focus on this big deal, and let's hope it ushers in a new dawn for Manchester United over the next decade, because we got to be focused on the big picture here.
Amen. Amen to that all day, every day. Because you know what? Managers come and go, but the reason that this club is in the position that we're in is because of the Glazers and the decisions they have or have not made over the last, especially 11 years since Fergie retired. And the first thing they got to do, obviously we all wanted him out. That's not happening. But what I heard today on Twitter that made me happy was like, this could be the last game that Manchester United is at least being run from a footballing operation side by the Glazers. So that is what's important. That's what this season should and hopefully will be remembered for. And I'm hoping the team he brings in, hey, man, they might not work out, but a starting place is finding qualified people who've done it before in Europe and bringing them together, holding them accountable, having a vision, and hopefully making it all pieced together brick by brick. You know, it's going to take a while, but I'm excited. The names that are being touted, these people have done it before. They're not just like some numpty that they found from KPMG or some guy from Everton who, you know, was left over with Moyes. So hopefully a new era dawns sooner rather than later, sir. I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. Quick PSA for the podcast. If you like the Muppet take and you've been here for the pod therapy, you want to support this podcast, we don't have any commercial sponsors. We're 100% fan backed. You got to be supporting us. You got to be helping the American Red Devils out. Sir, what kind of benefits do you get if you sign up for Patreon?
Incredible benefits. Patreon, you get discounts on all kinds of stuff. You get an extra pod every month where we let our hair down and get an intimate view of the American Red Devils behind the scenes. There's also extra special perks that we can't even mention on the pod. Check it out yourself. And a great way to support the pod, right? Join Patreon. Go to our website, AmericanRedDevils.com. Get some merch.
Big shout out to our new Patreon member, Nolan Kaspar. Again, if you want us to mispronounce your name, that's another benefit of joining Patreon. We shout you out on the podcast and mispronounce your name as best as we can. Check it out, patreon.com/AmericanRedDevils. Another great way to support us. Check out our store, AmericanRedDevils.store. You want Alex to ship you something from his garage. Keep this man busy in the warehouse. Grab something, a scarf, on our website. And check out our blog, AmericanRedDevils.com. Sir, tell them about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews or 5-star reviews, the American Devils podcast, wherever you listen. It's a great way to support the pod. Helps us get found organically by other top Muppets like yourself. And we're giving away free ARD designed by John scarves. Send it right to your door anywhere in the world. All you have to do is write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. Send a screenshot of that review to AmericanDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll pick, pack, and ship a free ARD scarf. Send it right to your door anywhere in the world. Here's a great one from Tanbara. Great resource for new and old fans alike. I cannot express enough how much this podcast is so well made. Thank you. Flow, informed discussion, enthusiasm, and honest fandom. Even on episodes after a devastating loss, I look forward to hearing insight and shared frustrations. Great job, and thank you for adding spice on an already great culture that is Manchester United's fandom. Thank you. That's a great review, and we appreciate it. Sir, we're almost at 500 podcasts.
Alex's referee complaints have been adding a lot of spice to this.
A lot of spice. A lot of spice. But today, let's get into it, sir.
All right, we're talking Manchester United versus the Hatters. United 1, the Hatters 0 at Old Trafford. Let's get into that lineup. Nana in net. Delo right back. Magoo Lindelof center back pairing. Reguilon at left, McTominay, Eriksson, midfield 2, Bruno in the hole, Rashford on the right, Garnacho on the left, and Højlund up front. How are we feeling about this 11?
I was disappointed not to see AWB. I was like, well, he obviously played well last game, but it was because he was sick, so that's why he was not available. Question marks about not seeing Varane, but I don't know what the fuck's going on there. And then I was happy to see Garnacho over in Antony, so, McTominay's going to stick in the midfield. That's Eric Ten Hag's been playing with, even though we got Mason Mount. But he made his way into the team in the first half anyway, given the injury with Eriksson. I thought he looked good. I would keep playing Mount, but who knows? So what did you think of this 11 when you saw it?
No Mason Mount, question mark. Veron, question mark. And, even just playing Rashford out of position, it's got to be enough to beat Luton. So, I mean, as far as, is this our best 11? Is the manager picking our best 11? I think the main concern we have is this undroppable McTominay. We signed Mason Mount for a lot of money for a certain reason. He's kind of getting the Fred treatment.
Yep.
So, not surprised here. And this 11 should do the job against Luton. Just surprised there's a little rigidity in kind of who the manager is going with lately. Let's get into that first half. United come out in control. 10th minute, Rashford puts in a great ball. Højlund off the thigh. This had to go in. Shot was saved point blank from the Luton keeper. This one, how are you feeling? Højlund, should he have done an RVP, hit it with the boot, kind of hip? Interesting one from the youngster.
I mean, all he had to do was not hit it right ahead. The goalie was right there. He just needed some kind of angle to it, to the left or the right. Wasn't meant to. This is like our season to date. Like when we do create a good chance, you can bumble it right into the goalkeeper. He's going to get a goal, but it was a frustrating day for him because he got so close.
And that's the area where he's dangerous. It's good to see him attacking that space. Good to see the attacking buildup, giving him the ball. And when we do get it in there, he puts it on target, to say the least. 16th minute, good chance for McSauce, but he blasted over. 36, Onana, huge save. Header from Luton down to his left. He got to it. Onana starting to shore up at back there, getting some confidence, which is what we need right before he goes off to AFCON. 39th minute, huge chance for Garnacho, one-on-one with the keeper. Seen a few of these from Garnacho. He's young. He's got to slow it down. He doesn't even get the shot off. This has been happening as of late, and you got to feel bad for the Argentinian youth.
No, he doesn't look himself because it was a great chance. United had a bunch of these really good chances where they turned the ball over pretty high up the pitch, and they looked really dangerous. Rashford had one in the second half that was actually well fed by Anthony. And this one, dude, last year he looked so fucking clinical, and you don't expect it, but he's a young kid. We got to give him time. He's got the talent. He takes players on. He'll get some goals. It's just right now, it's like nobody's scoring, and I think one of them starts scoring, they'll all start scoring. It's just, how it goes. We're streaky.
40th minute, Eriksen goes down injured, non-contact injury. You hate to see that. Mason Mount comes on. Went into half 0-0. I wasn't too concerned. We created some good chances there. We let Luton hang around. I think the real issue is the more we let teams hang around, the more there's going to be a bad VAR call lurking that's going to give them a penalty or something. I just feel like we haven't been ruthless enough going forward. But we come out in the second half, and to my surprise, set piece. Let's go.
Fifth corner for Manchester United. Fernandes takes. Mason Mount. Rashford! McTominay has a go! Victor Lindelof is an unlikely scorer! A wave of relief around Old Trafford. It had been coming, but patience has had to be a virtue. The first time they've scored this season.
Sir, the Stretford end. United attacking the Stretford end, and the ball seems to go in easier. Mason Mount with a great pass out to Rashford. Puts it into a dangerous area. Lindelof. Man, what a finish. You have to credit him because everyone's just been missing the barn.
No.
He literally put it like the roof is on fire just right up top, and that credit him on that finish.
100%. Like you might say, oh, it didn't look very pretty, but wow, Weghorst would not finish the way that Lindelof finished. So credit to the Iceman. It's a big goal when the team needed it. And like you said, it's like ain't nobody else scoring, but the defender's stepping up. And I like that pass to Mason Mount, bro. Something about he was good today. He came on like good energy, and he only helped with us trying to turn the ball over high up the pitch. So number 7's got to play.
Mason Mount, number one. Mason Mount fan. Like he's a good
player. They bought him for a reason. He's fucking good.
He's a good player, but like a lot of good players aren't playing well. I would argue that the whole squad isn't playing well, and it kind of you're around that, and you're a baller like Mason Mount. You're gonna come, it's gonna affect you. 68th minute, Anthony. Speaking of people bringing down the mood, coming on for Garnacho.
Yeah, one good play.
I said, I told Alex when this was live, I was like, he'd be better off not bringing him on because then everyone's gonna not remember the fact we paid $80 million for this guy.
Just keep him off.
70th minute, Anthony finds Rashford with a nice pass on the break. Rashford one-on-one with the keeper, shoots it right at him. This is everything. The big money contract can't score this opportunity against Luton. keeping Luton in it. You hate to see us not being able to finish these opportunities. 3 great ones, Hoyland, Garnacho, and Rashford, coming up short.
I mean, that's what you don't give yourself any margin of error. I mean, I think you even said this when we were watching the game this morning, which is like you give yourself the opportunity to get screwed by VAR by not putting these teams away 2-0, 3-0. If you do that and you get a bad penalty or whatever, you can overcome it. But if you're like struggling to score and then you get a bad call, it's a kill wound, it's a kill shot. So we got to figure that out because, like you said, like we got some big teams coming. We got Chelsea, as you mentioned, who I'm less worried about, but Newcastle, they're a dangerous team. Obviously, Liverpool are always dangerous with us. And I think we're playing at Anfield, which doesn't make me super excited. But either way, sir, we got to start scoring because this is not going to work long term if nobody on the front is going to be able to find the back of the net.
Absolutely. 79th minute, 76, Luton with a good block on a Bruno shot. This one was close. 79th double sub, Varane, Martial for Hoyland and Reguilon. Hoyland went down, kind of injured. Then we kept him on for some reason, then had to take him off here. I think as soon as Hoyland is feeling something, you got to get him off. Harsh Dutch manager keeping him on.
I mean, he's arguably the most irreplaceable player on our team right now. If you look at our squad, I know he's not scoring in the EPL. He's scoring in the Champions League. There's like his next man up is like a mile off, right? Like obviously we haven't seen Onana's backup, but like Martial can't do shit, bro. He can't even run. And at least Hoyland is like always giving effort. He makes great runs. He's in the box. He's scoring those kind of workman striker goals that we need so badly that we, have missed the last few years. So next man up, we're not in a good position because Martial doesn't offer much.
81st minute, McSauce had a header, kept out well by the Luton keeper, and that was it. There was 8 minutes of stoppage time, which you were moaning about. But look, overall...
That was something, to be fair. I mean, 8 minutes?
I would say, so the referee, Graham Scott, actually did a good job today. It was called straight down the line. VAR didn't get in the mix. I felt like this is what fans are looking for as far as refereeing. Agreed. English refereeing is better than UEFA. And English refereeing has gotten worse over time, for sure. True. Mike Dean kind of ushered in like all these moron refs. I feel like pre-Mike Dean era, there were like some serious guys who could handle the criticism, and then now that we just went wet noodle post-Mike Dean. Match reaction, looking at XG, 2.21 to Manchester United to 0.45 for Luton Town. Absolute dominant performance at home, which you like to see. 15 shots to their 10. We each had 4 on target. You don't like to see that. Should have hit the target a little more, unfortunately. 65% of the ball, absolutely dominated possession at home, as is tradition at Old Trafford, sir. And obviously, when it comes to, looking at the data, you have to be saying...
We have twitched our ass on the bench.
I have.
Do you understand what I mean?
You understand what I mean? Ready?
You have to look at the data.
All right,
we're working on it. It's tactical teardown, baby. New segment. I'm loving this, sir. Take us through it.
Yeah, so we have twitched our tactics. Manchester United absolutely dominated the ball, and we generated a lot of high turnovers. We generated 7 high turnovers compared to Luton's 1. That's what Erik ten Hag is looking to do. And we had a field tilt of 75%, which essentially means that 75% of the attacking third touches were by Manchester United. So we were at home, we were on the ball, 65% of the ball in their third, and creating high turnovers, which is what Erik ten Hag is trying to do. We also played a very high line against Luton Town, and that is to be expected. At home, be aggressive, win it high, play a high line, but we didn't create as many shots on target as we should have. I really think the 3 huge chances that stand out that could have got us to the 2-0 or the 3-0 that we needed, we should have done better, and we should have created more. I felt at times the passing was slow, the movement was slow, belabored, and United, that's not going to work against top teams. You could tell the intensity of Luton Town is slow. We were slow. You have a Scouse Bastard team in front of you. There's going to be a higher intensity, and that type of attack is not going to work.
No, I agree. I think it's at moments we showed some good intensity and some good direct play. But doing it consistently over 90 minutes is a totally different story for Manchester United. But I think like this was, all things considered, the only thing that was missing from this performance was fucking goals. It's like if we scored 2 goals, 3 goals, everyone would be happy because it was definitely better football, but it is a very bad team. But like I said, we've lost the bad teams this season, so it's all relative. And I like the high turnovers, the high press. We don't always see it, but I thought we were very effective, especially when Mount came on for Eriksen. It's just like he's very good alongside Højlund, pressing from the front with Bruno backing them up. Less so on the wings, but those 3 guys, they do a lot of work.
And of our shots, we had 11 in the penalty box versus Luton, which only had 3. So obviously we were getting into dangerous errors, just not getting it on target. And maybe we just need that extra pass. I kind of felt like players are selfish at times. We're not playing as a team. Yep. And then looking into the data, Devils in the data, sir, pressing ain't easy. Our pressing was a lot better today. The passes per defensive action was 8.1 for United versus Luton's 13, and that means it would take 8 passes before a United player would interact or create a defensive challenge on Luton Town, which means we were winning it high up, and the presses per defensive action were down at 8, which is a good sign for Manchester United, and this is the football that Erik ten Hag wants to play, which is coming through on the stat sheet, and something that is easier to do against Luton Town than it is, say, a Copenhagen, say, a Galatasaray away. And that's kind of where we see a nice stat sheet here. We see good numbers backing up our style of play, but can we do it against, the teams we should be competing against in the league?
That's the question. We're picking up some good wins against some poor teams, but our fixture schedule is going to get a lot tougher the second half of November and December. There's a lot of games, right? We play a lot of games in December because of the holidays, but also we're playing some good teams. I think we're playing Villa, we're playing Liverpool, we're playing Newcastle. So that's where it all matters. It's like, what can you show up against a team that's above you in the league that you need to fight for top 4? Luton's one thing, but like that Liverpool game makes me a little nervous, sir. A little nervous.
All right, given we're in, we've broken the whole don't look at the table till December thing because we're basically in the mud already.
I better than we were a couple weeks ago. I mean, I can't believe we're in 6th.
6th place, 21 points. Really, the delta is to the Scouse Bastards who have 24. Shitty have 27, right? So you were 6 points off first.
Incredible.
They do have a game in hand. So City, you put them on 30. Yeah. You're really 9. Right, but like, given how bad it's been, like we're hanging around, and the issue really comes down to the fact that we've only snuck these 1-0 wins against these really brutal teams. I mean, we're talking like relegation bound teams. We're like squeaking out these wins, and that is the glass half empty take. Is the way we're playing is we're gonna get dusted by the Villas. Even Brighton is like too big of a challenge for us. Newcastle, Spurs, Liverpool, Villa, Arsenal, City, like no way compared to how we're like scrapping Sheffield United, barely heroic comeback against Nottingham Forest. You can go on and on. I mean, the teams that we're barely beating it's embarrassing.
Hey, yeah, but the team has been struggling for form all season. We struggle with injuries, and the strikers can't score goals. So, like, I don't disagree, but at the same time, you're only as good as your last game. We played well today.
Only as good.
We are, and you're gonna.
I agree. I'm giving the half empty. This is the half empty corner.
I agree.
This is the half empty corner.
The corner. This side of the pitch is always half empty. I agree, but like there's big tests coming up, and the team is starting to figure it out a little bit. I think if the attackers start converting their chances, and like you said, play as a unit, make the unselfish pass, because that's
but it's
different.
always on the come. I have to say that this is like
this season. It's been always on the come. It wasn't on the come last season.
You have to be like a little harsh on this team because it is kind of been.
We won today. I like this. We've been harsh all fucking year, bro. We've been harsh since October.
No, I'm saying
since August. Excuse me.
So we're talking about the table. We're talking about 12 games in. And saying like, yeah, no, we're on good form, but you look at who we're beating here to get there. It's like squeaked one by Brentford, beat Sheffield United 2-1. It's like Fulham 1-0, Luton 1-0. I mean, these are the bad teams that we're like struggling to get over the line with. And like, are we eventually going to play our way into form, or are we going to get our back broken? Galatasaray, Newcastle, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Bayern, Liverpool, West Ham, Villa. Nottingham Forest, Tottenham.
It's a tough run.
Like
it's a tough run.
That's December.
It's a tough run.
Like that.
Let's get Luke Shaw back.
That's like backbreaking. Like Bayern.
Hopefully, trust me. The big thing is Højlund injured? I mean, Bayern are going to put the kids out because it's not going to matter, right? You would think that game. Are they even going to start Harry Kane, who's just like killing it in fucking Germany, just bagging goals
What do
left,
you
right, and
think?
center?
What do you think?
Of course they will, because they want to score against us at
Who's
Old Trafford.
coaching Bayern Munich?
Fucking Tuchel.
Do you think Tuchel likes Manchester
No, he
United?
fucking hates United.
Exactly. So we're gonna get it.
They'll play their starters, all the best.
No, I'm just trying to give
we'll
like
know
an
a much
honest
better
assessment.
idea.
I think that like
We'll know a much
right
better
now
idea after New Year's.
we're struggling. I don't see any reason to think we're picking up form, and I think we come out, we beat Everton. Galatasaray stomps us, get stomped by Newcastle. Chelsea beats us. You get a 1-0 Bournemouth, and then Bayern Munich, Liverpool put you to the sword, and let's see if Ten Hag can keep his job. Like you look at if you,
I wouldn't be firing the manager until you fire.
if
the
you
front
lose
office.
against Galatasaray, Newcastle,
Why are we?
Chelsea,
We're going to play
Bayern.
this game. He's in 6th place. We're 3 points out of 4th.
I'm this is the glass
Fastest
half.
fastest Manchester United coach to 30 wins in the
This
EPL.
is I'm
just saying, like
I'm
we're
putting
back to
some
the
heat on
firing
you.
Eric Ten Hag.
I'm not.
We've won 4 out of 5 in the league. I guess shit teams, but we still won.
no, sir. I know you're half full.
I don't know. I
I'm
can't
just
believe we're
giving
back
you
at the Eric Ten Hag out
No,
combo.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is like for me, this win today was all positive. I feel positive about United.
Here we go.
I'm trying to say there's some people that will watch that team and be like, that sucked. We suck. We've sucked the entire season. And when we play Galatasaray, Newcastle, Chelsea, Bayern, and Liverpool, we're going to get curb stomped. And that is going to create some
Let's see what happens first.
I agree.
Let's see what happens first. Because guess what? Like Newcastle lost today to
I'm
fucking
playing
Bournemouth.
devil's
They lost
advocate.
to Bournemouth. And we could get the shit kicked out of us by all those teams. But we could also maybe figure some shit out.
We can also go to Anfield and win by 4.
No, we're not going to win
We
in
can-
Anfield.
we can beat them
But the other
7-1.
games, like
How about that? How
we
about
should
let's
be
go to
able to
Anfield
beat
and beat them
Galatasaray.
7-1.
We should be able to beat Newcastle. Liverpool are good, and we suck against Liverpool. So yeah, we'll see what happens, bro. We could get curb stomped, and that would be a lot of pain on the pod.
All right, let's hear what the manager has to say about this match.
Just at times, but an important win heading into the international break.
Yes, and we could have life make more easy when you score goals, but I think we create many chances. First half, I observed 400% chances. So as you get the first and you get the second, then it becomes more easy. But if you don't score, then I can always drop a ball in the box or wrong position, and you are in trouble. So we had to fight till the end, and then it's maybe not the prettiest. But if you oversee how, and I'm happy with that, we created many chances.
Is that a confidence thing?
I don't think it particularly a confidence thing, because Rasmus Højlund scored 5 goals in the Champions League. So he came full of confidence into this game. And it will come. And Rashford scored last season 30 goals. Obviously, no, not scoring, but there will come a day he starts scoring again. And I think also the other offensive players like Garnacho, they are capable to scoring goals. So it will come. But what is good, we already have 13 different goal scorers in our team. So, and it expresses the way we want to play football. Everyone is attacking, everyone is defending. And so also defenders with us can score goals.
Rasmus went off. He seemed to have treatment, and then he went down the middle near him. What's problem?
In this moment, I can't tell anything about it because I don't know. We did assessment, but you have to wait for 24 hours. What is the conclusion? So yeah, give them the medical, the 24 hours to see what is the problem, if there is a problem.
I mean,
If there's a problem, look, the manager said it. 13 different goal scorers, sir. Some people say strikers need to score. Other people say spread the love.
Both
Look,
is good.
Both
I like
is
both.
good.
Mo
Both
better.
is
Give me
good.
Mo
you
better.
know? Both is good. You know, how are you feeling about the manager's commentary?
I don't know. I feel like I see a little pep in his step. You know, we've been struggling, but like it's been a tough season. And I think what he said and what you said, bro, is like if we want to get a result against any of those teams that you mentioned, we have to score goals, and our attackers need to score those goals. So that is going to be hugely important. Like Rashford needs to find form. Højlund needs to score in the league.
I'll take defend very well and don't concede and like maybe
concede
get,
4
maybe get a
goals.
0. I would take a 0-0 draw
All day against all those
day
teams,
at
against
Anfield.
basically all those teams.
I would be more thrilled if we just put in like an amazing organized
Team
industrious defensive performance. Like
Scoring
you're
helps.
right, scoring helps, but like Rashford, you can always hit him on the break. But the issue for this season has been we've regressed defensively. completely. And defense wins championships, man. You got to start with a solid structure, build from the back. The attack, I am confident Rashford will score, Højlund will score. It's coming. That whole attacking mojo takes time when you add a lot of new bodies to it and you're mixing it up and there's tons of injuries. But an organized team that defends well, that's what you need, sir. This Burnley the Builders is a great example. It's like defend for your lives, start there, and then worry about the goals later.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like it, but we're second in the league in clean sheets. That stuck up on me as well. We've had 4 clean sheets, which seems
minus
shocking.
3 goal differential.
No, that is ridiculous. But also, that's goals you haven't been scoring. We don't score goals at all. We've also conceded too much. We have both problems, bro. We have the David Moyes. We're passing, defending, creating chances, and scoring, as he once famously said. And it's getting better because at least Onana looks more confident. He's making the right saves with a level of confidence we like to see. Maguire played really well today. He deserves a shout out. He's playing good football. I don't get the whole Varane thing, but sir, there's room for improvement. But compared to where we were a month ago, I'm a happier man.
Yeah, just to give you kind of a sanity check on the goals against, we've had 16 against, 13 for. Villa has 16 against, but they scored 26.
Yeah, so it's a scoring problem primarily, I would say.
The only other team in the top 10 that has conceded more is Brighton, who's conceded 20, but they have scored 24. Crystal Palace has also conceded 16, scored 12. We have scored 13. So if you look at where we're at, Crystal Palace in 12th. That's kind of the same exact goal differential, goals for, goals against, right? It's not good. And this is where we're saying it has to change, not by like 20%, by like 100%.
We have to score way more goals.
And look, it's not easy for any team. We need that attacking mojo, sir. Let's get into the news. United in the news. We had some crazy Muppetry news. It's insane, sir. Mbappe to Manchester United. Do you hear that story?
We don't play that game.
Mbappe.
We don't play that game, sir.
Mbappe.
The Qataris bought us?
Apparently that was like, I saw like on Twitter, the Mbappe to Manchester United, Sir Jim Ratcliffe eyeing Mbappe
What?
to
Are
come.
you serious?
I swear to God, I was like, haven't we
Which
seen this?
Which rag dug that up?
Haven't we seen this movie before, sir? Like just playing a little
The
international.
guy's on
break.
$100 million a year, and seems to pull the strings at PSG. I don't think he'd be a fit at Manchester United. He's a hell of a player, but yeah.
Yeah, sources say Manchester
What
United
sources?
in Hunt.
What sources?
Football Insider.
Isn't he going to Real Madrid? Doesn't he have like Ronaldo
No, that blew
all
up.
over his
That
walls?
blew up. That blew up.
Did it?
Yep. Real Madrid basically out for Mbappe, and
You know who Real Madrid should sign? This guy named Holland. He would be great. He'd look great in white. Tell you what, Madrid way cooler than Manchester.
This is it. Sky Sports, Paris Saint-Germain prepared to sell Kylian Mbappe to Manchester United this
Get
summer.
the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out. Isn't he out of contract this summer? Is he a free agent?
I haven't gotten into the Mbappe. I
Dude,
think
the
of
live
of
Mbappe.
all the things we need.
I thought you were pulling like an April. What is this? April Fool's?
No, there's some rags rolling with the Mbappe
He's
to
probably
United,
looking for a
but
new deal.
fool me once, sir.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Exactly.
That's like Sergio Ramos. How many times was he going to come to Manchester United?
But we need we literally need less of that. We need more of like buying young players you never heard of,
Exactly.
like that Rooney kid in Copenhagen. I like
He's pretty
stories
good.
like that. But let's get into the real news. Apparently, Sky Cave is out on the beat saying that it is a done deal, and we are preparing the announcement for the Jim Ratcliffe minority stake, £1.25 billion to buy 25% of Manchester United. Hopefully, it could be done and agreed during this international break. That's the rumor. It could be done in these 2 weeks during this month. And then hopefully announced shortly thereafter. There will probably be a lot of fanfare associated with the announcement, the PR spin zone that we are going to tell you is coming.
Oh yeah, both
But
sides.
we've already heard the rumors that Jean-Claude
Blanc,
not Jean-Claude Van Damme, would be awesome.
When
to
you
have
search
him.
it- when
I
you
bet
search
he's a
Jean-
United fan. I bet he's a United fan though.
He's
For
Belgian.
the record,
You think he could be
sure.
a Fellaini fan?
There's plenty
like the
of
rest
Belgian
of us.
United
No,
fans.
there are.
But as far as this deal goes, going to be a big shakeup in the front of house. And so already hearing rumors on new CEO and new director of football. That would mean the Clown brothers, the Payet brothers are gone. And Murtaugh and Arnold, will be honorably discharged. I'm sure they will get like letters of like how great they were despite them ruining the club. Hopefully they'll get out and then we'll get some real people in. That is the real win for United, and everything is headed towards that. Obviously, Ratcliffe could come in, not get a new CEO, not hire a DOF, and have things just go as per the usual, but we're not hearing that.
No, we're not.
So if the Glazers can't get gone, this is the second best thing. Now, should we still protest the ownership? Should we demand no dividends? Should we make sure that they upgrade Old Trafford and invest in the team and communicate with the fan base? We should do all those things. But if we get a new CEO and Ratcliffe is running the football side of the things and we're getting Paul Mitchell, I really like the direction because these guys are smart businessmen and they're going to be looking at how can we turn this thing around, because if they can turn this around, United's worth $10 billion.
Easy.
Right? And these guys on the ground in England can do it. The Glazers are just the kids of the guy who bought it, and they're just passive, just sitting there, don't really care. Now, I like the whole assessment of they're going to figure out how they wasted the money. They're going to look at the squad, figure out what they can do. And this is the long-term view you need to take with Manchester United at the moment. So that's why I'm not so bothered about the Luton Town game. It's like, look, 3 points, good win this season. We're going to go to Europa League. Cheer them on. It'll probably be shitfootball.com, get clapped up by the Scouse bastards, whatever. That's just going to be this year, but it's really about next year and getting Ratcliffe in.
100%, 100%. Everybody wanted a full buyout. That's not happening. Somebody else calling the shots on the football and operations. That's the deal. It's like these idiot Glazers, they're not just like greedy bastards. They're also fucking morons. It's like they basically looked at the last 11 years, made no changes, put in a phony DOF, put in an unqualified CEO. And that's the most important change. Beyond getting them out is like putting competent, smart, aggressive people in the position to oversee all things sporting at Manchester United and back up the current manager or the future manager or whoever, and making sure there's continuity across. So I'm very excited about this. I'm not expecting it to go well because I'm expecting another 15 years of suffering. But this would be the first step. This is like how you do it. And you know what? There's no telling that Paul Mitchell, Jean-Claude Blanc will be successful. But at least like this is what real clubs do. They don't just like hire these morons out of nowhere and like put them in as yes men. You hire smart people who are going to tell you the real deal and be like, we fucked up here, here, and here. This is how we avoid these mistakes in the future. And this is how we make sure we don't get another 85 million Anthony. And it's like, that's the deal. How do you avoid Sancho's of the world and the Anthonys and just overpaying for players when there's no competition for those players? So it's a long con. Manchester United is a long con. We don't day trade this club. So this is a big first change. And I'm excited that I'm hopeful that all the things we've been hearing in the news about all these heavies coming into the front office is true and it's not just smoke.
Yeah, and I've been a part of, change of control, M&A, et cetera. And like when you're getting new companies set up and, you're getting heavies in, heavies don't like just let things run the way they were run. Right?
No.
So the idea that Ratcliffe's going to come in and do nothing is crazy, right? The only reason he's willing to buy a minority stake is because they're going to let him do all this stuff. And then he's going to bring in like a big time CEO and he's going to change everything. Good. That's what these guys do. It's their way, the highway. And so that's why I'm encouraged by what we're hearing. And a bit of that, what we're seeing in the press is Ratcliffe's planning to fire sale Manchester United's attackers. Exactly. When the attack's not working well, like the perfect example of the Glazer ownership is re-signing Delo.
Yep.
That's the perfect example. Came out, signs new deal through 2028. Like, why? Like, AWB, I would argue, he's played better, right?
Much better.
Like, he's played much better last year. But it's 1 year. You don't get a new deal if you only play, like, good half a season or one season. And Delo is he good enough to be the starting right back at Manchester United? I would argue not. Like, could he be number 2 or number 3 to the guy? Absolutely. Is AWB the guy? TBD. So if you have two guys that you don't know if they're the guy or not, it's Manchester United. You need the guy. So like you got to kick Delo, you got to sign one. We're not doing any of that. And this is why the whole like save money, sign extensions, like Lindelof would be a great example of a player who came in and was not good enough. We know that he's not good enough. Like Fred, it'd be like extending Fred, extending Lindelof. These aren't bad players. They're good guys. We like him as a fan. Lindelof scored today, but you kind of have to say, like, what is his role? He's the 4th center back at United. Does he want to be? He doesn't want to be that guy? Okay, move on. And it's about taking the risk to sign the new guys and getting the fresh blood in and taking the hit, like selling Anthony for 30, get him out. The Glazers just keep it going, and they don't want to actually take the L on these transfer fees, and that's a huge issue. Is the squad has just been stagnant, and I think a lot of the issues that we're seeing on the pitch, a lot of the issues that Rangnick called out, are because we're not moving off players sooner, a la City, a la some top clubs in Europe.
Well, that's the thing, 100%, sir. All the top clubs, when they know they fucked up or they made a wrong buy, they get rid of them. They move them out while there still is some semblance of a resale value. United just kick the can. They might give him a new deal. I mean, you could talk about, Jesus Christ, they gave Phil Jones a new deal. They gave Martial a deal.
Like Mata was a great example. Like kept re-upping. Like
Exactly.
Mata, good player, but he was a past
good
it,
guy.
like-
But like, what did City do? They're ruthless, bro. Like they didn't keep Aguero. They didn't keep like any of these guys. Company. They were fucking ruthless, and the best clubs in the world are ruthless. And we have to be shrewd for once. We haven't done shrewd deals like maybe the Eriksen free. That was a decent deal.
That was a good deal.
That was a good deal. Bruno at 40.
Casemiro,
that was
horrible.
a good. 80 for Casemiro. We got to be signing Kieran Trippier for $12 million like Newcastle did. That was a great fucking deal that we didn't even pay attention to. Julian Alvarez, £14 million. I'm not going to do the Moise Cast. That one was like, who the fuck knew he'd go from 4 to $100 million? But we can't be doing these overpaying for $80 million Anthony when you have other kids from South America or for other leagues that are ready to join United, and we're just but we'll pay $80 million for Anthony. So it's we need semblance, we need shrewdness, we need to be ruthless in the market, and also be you have to know we have a rep for getting played. And when Radcliffe comes in and all his boys come in, he's going to inherit that reputation. We have to change that by being nah, we ain't paying for that guy. Next guy up, because that reputation is real, and dude, they feel it, and they're going to have to break that by being shrewd and turning down deals and negotiating the fuck out of it.
And the players are comfortable. The players are too comfortable in their positions, and we got to move off of some of these big deals. I mean, you look at the big deal that we have for Rashford. That's not a good thing. Bruno as well, Casemiro, Varane, these big deals that hang around our necks, can't move the guys on. Sancho, bad attitudes. We got to get out from under this malaise of these insane wages. We got to get the wage bill. We got to get younger. We got to reduce the wage bill. We got to get hungrier. Right, and then you wouldn't have a Ten Hag coming in and having all these egos he's got to battle with instead of focusing on getting people to work. Players don't want to work hard on the pitch. That's where we're at. We got to literally get rid of all these big money deals, all these guys who don't want to work, who aren't bought in, and we need to get younger and hungrier, and United will be back. As soon as we go back to our ways, Busby babes, sir, Manchester United will be back again, and until we do the Mbappes and the Delo extensions, the save money, good and cheap, we're dead. And that's the problem. So hopefully Ratcliffe solves all of that, sir. Next article here. Hate to say this one. You can take this article. You threw this one in here.
I mean,
tough to read.
It makes me sick, sir. It's this is a big event. Bobby Charlton's memorial is on Monday. A delegate from every club in the EPL will be sent. They're going to do a guard of honor for him, and who can't bother showing up is the fucking Glazers, who have a private jet, probably multiple private jets. And this just speaks to the character of our owners, bro. These people are low character individuals, and it's just kind of sad. It's just it is what it is, but it's not surprising given who these people are. We know who these people are. They've shown this over the last 20 years, and they're not going, but hopefully we hear a lot less about them because they won't be making the major decisions who's the DOF.
Sir, they don't know how to run this club, right? No. They don't have respect for this club. Clearly, they should be there, but they're not at the Munich Memorial every year. They don't understand it. They don't get it. You know who is going to get it? Ratcliffe.
Jimmy.
He'll be there.
Our boy
he
Jimmy.
Understands. You and me go there. We pay our respects. We look at the memorial every time we walk to Old Trafford. We know what it means. We know everything about the history of the club. We'll never die, sir. It's such a huge, important, that day every year, so critical to be a United fan and to see our owners not respect our own history of our club. Arguably that event and then coming back and winning the European Cup 10 years later, which we have the match program hanging in the podcast bunker.
Amazing.
What it means to look at that, the perseverance, Sir Bobby himself, Matt Busby, George Best, we can go on and on and on. And it's just that is why Manchester United is world famous. And it's that is our club. It's in our DNA, and it's not in the Glazers' DNA. And that's why they're here for a buck. They'll be gone eventually. And I'm excited to see Sir Jim Ratcliffe at the Munich Memorial one day, right, when he's the minority owner.
I love it. 100%, sir. It's if you don't show up for this, you don't have the level of respect needed for a club like this. It's like you have no idea how important this club is, and you know what? One day they'll be gone. They won't be gone tomorrow. They won't be gone next year, but eventually they will be gone, and the club will be much better for it. We've had good owners, we've had bad owners, and the Glazers are just another shit owner that we've had in our 50-year history. So
Maui
eventually
Gym
they'll be
Stadium.
gone. Yeah, it's coming, bro. But I'll take
is-
it. I'll take it to get rid of the Glazers.
It's
Old
coming.
Trafford at Maui Gym Stadium. Sounds
No,
pretty
it's
good.
gonna be Maui Gym at Old Trafford. It's gonna be like
So you're a branding guy.
I would love, and that it's got a Maui Gym, baby. Let's go.
I'm in. I'm all
there's
in,
Nothing.
baby.
There's nothing like more.
You ever seen
hysterical
Maui
than being
gyms in the
hey,
wild? I've never seen like a Maui. That's got to be an
We
English
need a sunglass sponsor on the most cloudy, like,
thing. Yeah, exactly.
poor
Raining
weather.
every time we go.
All right, let's get into our fan questions, international break style. At Jacob writes, quote, somehow every opponent manages to double or triple team the red with possession and simultaneously make sure none of the other 10 are open. The attack really looks dangerous. At SC_1201, watching this United is like passing a kidney stone. Some days you feel nothing, other days you want to die. Guess today was a good day. That is true.
You write that one? Was that you?
No, that was not. But I am feeling better. I used to be like a lot angrier watching this United team, and I think I have finally hit the acceptance. I accept what we are. I accept where we are. And once you accept that and you forget how we should be winning leagues and winning Champions Leagues and being elite and just dominating these teams, right? Then you can be excited about beating Luton 1-0, and you can be excited about making a run in the Europa League and maybe winning it, And that's where I'm at. Is like, hey, we're shit, despite these guys making a lot of money, and let's just accept where we are and then cheer the team on, because that's really it. It's like you go through this every season. You come out, want to try to compete for the league, want that title race. Haven't had a title race in a decade.
Nope.
Haven't had a title race. Haven't competed for the title.
Glazers, bro. Glazers.
Haven't competed for the title. That's
Anyway,
heartbreaking.
No,
it's tough.
I know.
It's tough.
I've been here.
Title race.
We're at our
Can
fifth.
that guy get a title
What
race?
was this? Like 496 or something? We're almost at 500 pods, bro. It's like no title races. No title races.
At M.
Keep
Hersey,
waiting.
quite pathetic against one of the worst teams in the league. Rashford has to do something in his contract where he plays every match. Starting to lose my patience with him. We have to play Palestri instead. What do you make of Marcus Rashford, sir? What do you make of Marcus?
I mean, he's there. I'm not gonna join the.
He's there. He exists.
Do you want to hear what I have to say?
Sir,
Or
let's
would you
go.
like? Would you like
I'm
to?
just trying to get you like.
I'm saying like we know he's a great player. I don't believe this whole like he's dog shit because he's only scored one goal.
Fire rises.
Yes, you're a big
Fire
Bane,
rises.
big
He's
Bane
getting
guy.
heated up.
I'm a Dark Knight. I'm more of a Dark Knight guy. Dude, he's gonna score goals. He's not play. He doesn't look confident, and this is a confidence game. It's like we used to see this with Wayne Rooney, my favorite player of all time. It's like he would go from being lights out, week in, week out, scoring goals, and all of a sudden he couldn't score for 3 months. And then all he needs is that one fucking goal, and the dam will break. And we're at that point where, like, I actually think if just one of these fuckers starts scoring goals, the other guys will start scoring goals because they all feel the pressure of not scoring the goals, especially in the league. So
in the league, so like, what do you say, last 5 years? Let's like,
the last 5 years.
last 5 years, 17, 11, 4, 17, 1. So, I mean, like the average of the league goals there is what, close
10.
to 10. I think he's a 10 league goal
He's a
scorer.
winger.
Is
He's a
really,
winger. That's
really
good.
where he
Yeah.
is. You like to see more assists out of him. But, it's like last season, he scored 5 the season before that. In 21,
That was a bad
22,
se- that
he
was a
had
bad-
5
It
goals.
was a bad year.
But I mean, all comps 22, 21, 5, 30, and this season 1. So you'd like to see him around the 15 to 20 mark.
He's a 20.
He's clearly regressed, and the big metric is he signed the big money deal. And that has happened at every time we sign anyone to any larger contract. They just blow up. Or we get a season and then they blow up. That's kind of how we are. At Love the Bulls 18, ugly game. But like we always say, 3 points is 3 points. Damn straight. At Jack Bourne 86, sirs, wishing you both as well as all a happy international break. 3 points. Phew. 2 quick questions. What's the key to unlocking Rashford this season? And do Patreon subscribers get access to John's Thanksgiving ham recipe?
It's Alex's.
It's actually Alex's.
I'm the chef.
Okay, first question. What's the key to unlocking Rashford? He's obviously out of sync.
I think it's like I said. I think he just needs that goal, man. I think he gets a goal, he'll start scoring goals. And also, I think the whole team and the whole front three needs to be less selfish. They need to pass the ball more to each other, and if they will, they'll give assists to give them confidence, and then that confidence can lead to them being more clinical in front of net. And I think it's a confidence
false.
game.
You know why I know you're wrong?
That's false. Okay.
Rashford needs.
Bro.
What did Rashford?
Go ahead. False.
What did Rashford do before last season started? What did he do? Put on the chains. Got on this P-Jet with Sancho, jetted off probably somewhere like, the European equivalent of Vegas, and got down, right? He needs a little bit of that. He needs to find his dog out there
I didn't like when he
in
does
the
that.
jungle. But I'll tell you, when
Vegas.
he looked like he was turned up, wearing all of his chains on the P-Jet, singing with the rappers, he came out and scored 30. Whatever it takes, like, he needs to find it.
He needs to hang out with Jadon Sancho more. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what it is, but like you saw that video and then he scored 30. So it's like maybe that's where he needs to be. Maybe he needs to be kind of like,
Gotta let that dog run.
Exactly. Maybe he needs to let that dog run.
Maybe he's gonna hang out with Grealish and pop
like
bottles
you
in
saw
Vegas.
the what was it, the Jordan documentary? Like in the middle of the season, like Rodman had to go to Vegas and then he got like lost. Jordan had to go find him. Like Michael Jordan flew to Vegas to
but he
bring
shows
him
up in the
back.
finals. He shows up in those
Exactly.
finals, right?
So maybe Rashford needs a little bit of that. You never know.
there you go.
Okay, what about your ham recipe?
If you join Patreon, I'll give you my ham recipe.
There we go. Let's put.
I'm not
do you
making-
actually make the ham, or do you like? I've eaten the
Do
ham.
I
don't-
make the ham? Do I cure the ham? Like, does anyone
No, I'm
in
saying like
America
you go
make
and get
their
a
own
ham, but then you cook it and like you have a special sauce.
No, I have like a honey baked ham, bro. Like brown sugar, some vinegar.
Okay, well this year. You're gonna post the ham recipe on Patreon.
it.
You're making it this year.
I'm not making it this year because I only have
Why?
Because I only have my mom and my crew is
That's
like a
a
4-year-old, a 1-year-old, my wife, and me. And I'm a grunter. I eat, but I don't need a 12-pound turkey.
The best part is that Alex always gives me a big plastic bag full of ham after Thanksgiving.
It's fucking good, right?
Absolutely. At golfpro_x2, have to say Maguire has earned to play over Varane if we're going to base on form this season. Another game where he had a solid performance, was able to ping a couple diagonal passes he likes, and even got forward on the left wing once, which was funny to see. What do you make of Maguire? We've said here, sell, sell, sell. We want to sell Maguire, sir. I believe we have that here.
Sell, sell, sell.
He has a good song.
He does have a good song. He's playing good. I mean,
I'm not buying into this. Sell the man. You sell him.
But
You
I
get
didn't
rid of him.
say to sell or to not to sell. I'm just saying that's a different topic. He is playing good football right now.
This is just increasing
He
the
has
value.
been
of-
unshackled by being the non-captain. Being captain in this club is so hard that it literally brought him down into the muck. I think not having him be captain, and now everyone's blaming fucking Bruno about everything. He's playing much better football. He looks super confident. He's playing aggressive football. He's like actually coming out of his box. We're not going to keep him, but it's until we do, this will help his resale value if he's playing good football, and we can sell him to a West Ham or a Nottingham Forest or other English club. Insert.
No, I think it's Maguire is one of those guys who's got to start week in, week out to get the best out of him, right? We're seeing that he has a string of starts. He's playing well, but he's a little too slow. He needs to be on like a West Ham or Aston Villa. That's like where he belongs.
He'd do great there.
No, but that's where he belongs. Manchester United, you got to be a little more versatile. Like you look at Varane, the profile
like Martinez.
Exactly. Varane not playing well, but like that style of player where he's like a little skinnier, he's quick,
Skinnier.
has position. You need like those guys that are like tall, lanky, quick, can play a good pass.
Like
Maguire's
Varane
got
5 years ago.
Maguire getting dusted. I have just nightmares about that, and I know that's what he is, and I know that he'd be better off at like a West Ham or some team that's like mid to high table in the EPL, which ironically is us. So maybe that's why he's playing so well at the moment. Sir, that is it. That is the podcast. You like the American Red Devils? Please check out our Patreon. Support us. We're 100% fan backed. We do not have any private sponsors on this podcast. Check out our Patreon page. Patreon.com/AmericaDevils, AmericaDevils.store for your merch, beanies, hoodies, scarves, shirts, stickers, and AmericaDevils.com for all the hot Muppet takes you need, sir. Give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days.
I think I figured out our next sponsor, sir. Our first sponsor is the Honey Baked Ham Company. We
Yeah,
go big into the ham business. It is the time of the year.
You can't give up. I think I speak for all America Devils fans where you can't give up cooking the honey baked ham.
I have two
People
children.
know about it. Like
Sir.
people are like,
We're doing.
Tweet
You're not
us.
here. I usually host John and his crew.
I'm gonna be back in like 2 days. I'll take some ham.
I'm not gonna cook for you like, when you get back, bro. That's
Okay.
not how it works. It's
Everyone
like
needs
you're
to
there
tweet us.
in country on Thanksgiving. Are you?
I'm gonna do a Twitter poll. I'm gonna say, should Alex cook the honey baked ham? And if it is more
Post
than
it right now?
50%, you have to make it
More than what percent?
50%.
If it breaks 50%, I will make a ham at some point that week.
Okay, there you go. All right, give us our top 10 talent list.
Number one, how you doing? How you doing? Los Angeles, California, Brooklyn, New York, New York, Chicago, Illinois, Dublin, Ireland, Melbourne, Australia, Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Miami, Florida, and Dallas, Texas. Appreciate all American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do it without you.
We'll get back to the ham.
Back to the ham.
It's because the wife doesn't like the ham. The wife never likes the ham. She's pushing against the ham. Alex is losing hand here.
Yeah, we're back on ham.
No, I'm saying you're losing ground. The wife's kind of beating you
when
up.
you don't have
she
a big
doesn't
crew,
like the ham.
it's just another thing for the oven, to be fair. You know, as someone who's
Look at
like
this guy.
logistics
Have
handling.
you seen Inception? She's like, put a thought in your brain about the ham that you believe in.
You know what?
You hear what's
know
coming
what?
out of your mouth? This guy likes ham.
I love ham.
This guy likes ham.
Also,
Cook
like,
the ham.
first of all, the only reason I even want to make Thanksgiving dinner is for the leftovers, for the delicious sandwiches, and ham fits in just
All right,
fine.
we're convincing him. We're convincing. We're
Oh,
fighting
there,
back.
basically
Fighting
there.
We're fighting back. Let's go ham.
but I can get a much
quarterback.
better deal on the ham on Friday, so I was thinking I'll buy a ham the day after Thanksgiving.
This is fair,
ham
sir.
rich.
All right, we're gonna leave you with a doozy United Calypso, which was sung away at Fulham. What a great match that we went to. I think 4-1. Always at the wheel. Let's go.